How do you survive where winters last 10 months and breath turns to ice in seconds? The Yakuts have the answer, and it's nothing like you'd expect. In Yakutia, houses aren't just shelters. They're engineering marvels designed for the planet's most unforgiving environment. Winter temperatures here drop to negative 58 degrees Fahrenheit, with record lows reaching negative 96 degrees. That's cold enough to freeze your breath into tiny ice crystals. The first rule of Yakutian architecture: don't anger the permafrost, or it'll swallow your house faster than the last cookie disappears from a plate. This frozen ground has remained solid for thousands of years, but place something warm on top, and it transforms from rock-solid foundation to unstable mush. Yakuts solved this problem with a simple solution: stilts. Buildings stand elevated on sturdy posts, creating an air gap between structure and ground. About 70% of structures use this raised foundation technique, and those that don't often need rebuilding every decade. The walls are engineering wonders, measuring over 12 inches thick. Builders stuff them with sawdust, foam, or crumpled newspapers. These barriers don't just keep cold out, they treat it like an unwelcome guest who keeps knocking at the door. Windows come triple glazed as standard, with newer buildings featuring 4 layers of glass. Anything less would be like trying to stay warm behind a sheet of ice. Heating systems work overtime, consuming enormous amounts of wood. A typical family burns through 8 to 10 cords of firewood during winter, enough to fill most garages. City homes receive steam heat through pipes running under streets in insulated tunnels. Water management becomes challenging when pipes freeze immediately. Many areas lack running water, so residents collect it from central stations and store it indoors in large barrels. Every home needs backup systems for everything. When help is hours away and cold can be deadly within minutes, having extras becomes essential. Most families maintain secondary heating sources and emergency supplies. Maintaining these specialized homes isn't a weekend chore, it's a constant job. Your house demands regular attention, becoming as needy as a houseplant that would die if forgotten for even one day. With winter lasting 9 months, these homes need championship-level performance, steady, reliable, and no meltdowns allowed. Of course, all the best insulation in the world means nothing if you're not properly protected when you step outside. Stepping outside in Yakutia, when it's minus 60 degrees without proper clothing, isn't just uncomfortable, it's potentially deadly. The local approach to dressing makes ordinary winter wear look like summer beach wear. Everything begins with the first layer, wool or thermal cotton that hugs the skin tightly. This base layer traps body heat and creates a warm microclimate. What makes this layer special? It stays warm even when damp with sweat, a critical feature when your breath freezes on contact with the air. The second layer serves as insulation headquarters. Thick padding or traditional fur creates a substantial barrier between your body heat and the hungry cold. Many locals use jackets stuffed with reindeer or horsehair, nature's original thermal insulation that outperforms synthetic materials by 20% in extreme conditions. The final layer is where survival meets the elements head-on. Reindeer hide, horsehide, or sheepskin outer garments act as windproof armor against air that could freeze exposed skin in less than 2 minutes. These outer garments aren't for fashion. They're what stands between you and becoming a human ice sculpture with a confused expression. Footwear receives special attention with traditional boots called torbasa. These ingenious creations keep feet warm while allowing moisture to escape, a critical feature since trapped sweat leads directly to frostbite. The torbasa design has remained largely unchanged for 500 years because it simply works. Head protection transforms people into barely recognizable figures. Scarves and fur hoods wrap fully around faces, leaving only narrow slits for eyes. Without this level of coverage, breathing minus 60-degree air would freeze your lungs faster than a forgotten water bottle left outside overnight. Hand protection requires multiple layers too. Thin liner gloves covered by thick mittens provide essential warmth. Many locals add a third windproof shell because fingers are particularly vulnerable to frostbite. When temperatures drop below minus 50, touching metal with bare fingers means skin will stick instantly. The entire cold weather outfit can weigh up to 15 pounds, quite literally the weight of survival. Moving around in all these layers requires extra effort, which generates additional body heat in a practical feedback loop. Traditional knowledge about proper layering passes down through generations, refined by centuries of trial and error in one of Earth's most hostile environments. When the cold outside can kill in minutes, dressing properly isn't about comfort, it's about making it home alive. The perfectly layered Yakutian leaves no skin exposed to the deadly air. But even with this protection, survival requires a reliable way to move across the frozen landscape. Vehicles in Yakutia don't enjoy the luxury of occasional rest. When temperatures drop to -60 degrees, turning off an engine even briefly is an open invitation for mechanical disaster. Most cars and trucks here remain running continually throughout winter. Shutting down your engine during errands would be like turning off your heartbeat for a few minutes. Technically, you might restart it, but the odds aren't in your favor. Many drivers leave their engines idling for hours or even overnight during the coldest periods. Why this seemingly wasteful practice? When metal engine blocks cool below -40 degrees, the starter may lack enough power to overcome the thick frozen oil. Antifreeze becomes slush. Batteries lose up to 60% of their power in extreme cold. Even rubber and plastic parts become so brittle that using your turn signal might shatter your steering column, a whole new level of driving straight. Special engine block heaters that plug into electrical outlets have become essential equipment, warming crucial components when vehicles must be shut down. Without these devices, restarting a fully cooled engine might require portable heaters, special starting fluids, or even open flames directed at the oil pan. All dangerous methods attempted only in emergencies. Batteries receive extra attention with thermal blankets or indoor storage overnight. Some residents remove their batteries completely after parking, carrying the heavy components inside to keep them warm. Reconnecting a battery at -50 degrees becomes a race against frostbite, your fingers going numb, just as you're trying to tighten the final connection. Radiator fluid requires special mixtures rated for temperatures down to -70 degrees. Regular antifreeze would solidify into a useless block of ice. Diesel fuel needs additives to prevent gelling, and motor oil must have exceptionally low viscosity ratings. Tires present another challenge as rubber hardens in extreme cold. Metal studs or chains become mandatory for any hope of traction on ice-covered roads. The sound of studded tires on Yakutian roads creates a constant background rhythm during winter months. Starting procedures evolve into elaborate rituals with specific steps. Warm the key in your hands before insertion. Turn the ignition to on position before attempting to start. Pump the gas pedal precisely 3 times. Wait 10 seconds, then crank the starter for no more than 5 seconds at a time. The starter motor manual might as well include please and thank you in the instructions. You're not turning on a car, you're negotiating with it. The relationship between driver and vehicle transforms from mere transportation into a crucial life support partnership. Cars aren't luxury items here, they're survival pods with wheels. The same extreme conditions that challenge machines also create interesting opportunities. The extreme temperatures that make daily life challenging in Yakutia offer a surprising benefit: the world's largest natural freezer. When winter temperatures drop below -40 degrees, the entire region transforms into a giant food preservation system that requires no electricity. Fish pulled through ice fishing holes freeze solid within 5 minutes of exposure to air. This instant preservation locks in freshness, better than any modern freezer could manage. These fish become so solidly frozen, you could use them as hammers to pound nails, nature's version of a 2-in-1 tool and dinner. Traditional wooden sheds or labaz storage structures hold frozen meat through winter months. Built on stilts with good air circulation, these simple buildings maintain perfect freezing temperatures naturally. Some families still use ice cellars dug into permafrost, where ground temperatures remain at a steady -10 degrees Celsius year-round regardless of surface conditions. The cold allows for unique food preparation methods impossible elsewhere. Stroganina has become a signature dish, paper-thin slices shaved from frozen fish or meat, served raw with salt and spices. The texture and flavor differ completely from thawed food, creating a delicacy visitors rarely forget. High-fat foods take center stage in the Yakutian diet for good reason. The human body burns up to 4,000 calories daily just maintaining core temperature in extreme cold. Traditional meals feature frozen horse liver, boiled beef, and reindeer meat, all rich in fat that provides essential fuel for warmth. Fermented dairy products hold special status in the traditional diet. Milk, placed in wooden barrels, freezes slowly, concentrating proteins and allowing beneficial bacteria to thrive along the unfrozen portions. The result is Kure-Check, a sour cream with unique properties perfect for Arctic nutrition needs. Root vegetables and wild berries harvested during brief summers get preserved through natural freezing. Frozen berries maintain more vitamin content than other preservation methods, providing crucial nutrition during long winters. Community-wide hunting efforts during fall result in large game animals that get shared among multiple families. A single moose provides nearly 500 pounds of meat, enough to help feed several households through winter months. This natural preservation system worked perfectly for thousands of years before electricity arrived, demonstrating how people can adapt to harsh conditions by turning problems into solutions. When food storage gets solved by nature, attention can turn to another critical aspect of Arctic survival. The animals of Yakutia aren't ordinary farm creatures. They're specialized survivalists, bred through centuries to thrive where most livestock would perish within hours. These remarkable breeds represent biological engineering perfected through generations of selective breeding. Yakutian horses stand as prime examples of cold adaptation. These stocky creatures grow winter coats up to 4 inches thick and develop a substantial layer of fat beneath their skin. Unlike other horse breeds that would need blankets and heated barns, these animals can survive temperatures down to -70 degrees while living outdoors year-round. Their winter coats grow so incredibly thick, they look like they're wearing fur overcoats 3 sizes too big, nature's version of extreme winter fashion. What makes these horses truly remarkable is their ability to dig through snow up to 3 feet deep, using their hooves to access frozen grass beneath. This self-sufficiency means they can feed themselves even during the harshest winter conditions. Their compact bodies with short legs and thick necks minimize heat loss through reduced surface area, a perfect design for extreme cold. Yakutian cattle show similar adaptations with insulating fat layers and dense winter coats. These animals produce milk with unusually high butterfat content, sometimes reaching 8% compared to the 3 to 4% found in common dairy breeds. This rich milk provides essential calories during winter months. Reindeer herding continues as a traditional practice in northern areas, with animals perfectly designed for Arctic conditions. Their hollow fur provides superior insulation by trapping air, nature's original thermal technology. A reindeer can detect vegetation beneath 3 feet of snow using its acute sense of smell, an essential skill when food lies hidden beneath a frozen white blanket. Working dogs in Yakutia develop exceptionally thick double coats and the ability to process high-fat diets efficiently. Traditional Laika hunting dogs can withstand temperatures that would quickly kill less adapted breeds. Their compact ears and thick fur-padded paws resist frostbite even during prolonged outdoor activity. Water management for these animals becomes a daily challenge as automatic waterers freeze solid. Livestock keepers must manually provide warmed water multiple times daily, a labor-intensive process that never pauses during winter months. Breeding programs focus intensely on cold hardiness, with qualities like thick winter coats, efficient metabolism, and compact body shapes taking priority over productivity measures used elsewhere. The result is animals uniquely suited to survive in conditions that would quickly prove fatal to standard breeds. These specialized animal partners make survival possible in a landscape that challenges every living creature. While these remarkable beasts have adapted through generations of selective breeding, they're just one piece of a complex survival puzzle that continues to evolve in this frozen corner of the world. Living in extreme cold means turning yourself into a biological furnace with specific maintenance requirements. Yakutian people develop bodily adaptations and daily routines that make survival possible in temperatures that would quickly incapacitate unprepared visitors. Daily bathroom breaks become precisely timed operations. Nobody lingers when temperatures hit minus 60 degrees. Nobody dawdles on the toilet when the seat could freeze body parts to porcelain in under 30 seconds. Special breathing techniques become second nature. People breathe through scarves or fur collars, creating warming chambers for incoming air. Direct inhalation of supercold air damages lung tissue, making proper breathing a survival skill rather than an automatic function. Skin exposure receives obsessive attention. Every square inch stays covered because exposed flesh freezes in minutes. Most locals can detect a 1-inch gap in their protective layers instantly, a sixth sense developed through necessity. Bodies burn up to 4,000 calories daily just maintaining core temperature, nearly double the consumption of someone in a temperate climate. Heavy, fat-rich meals become essential fuel rather than indulgences. Constant movement generates critical body heat. Even during indoor activities, people rarely sit completely still for long periods. Small movements become unconscious habits that maintain warmth during sedentary activities. Many locals develop the ability to sleep lightly, waking immediately if house temperature drops or if storms intensify. This heightened awareness during rest becomes second nature in a place where environmental changes can become deadly within minutes. Warm liquids dominate hydration habits. Tea consumption reaches extraordinary levels. Many adults drink 8 to 10 cups daily. Going without hot tea in Yakutia is like trying to run a car without oil. Technically possible, but guaranteed to end in a breakdown. Children as young as 6 can identify early frostbite signs and handle basic winter survival tasks. These skills develop naturally through observation and practical necessity rather than formal education. While individual physical adaptations are remarkable, they represent just one layer of survival knowledge that must be carefully preserved and passed down through the generations. Survival education begins before children can walk. Raising kids here means turning young humans into cold weather experts through a combination of play, education, and hands-on training that starts almost from birth. Newborns get bundled in multiple insulating layers from their first moments of life. By age 5, local children can identify different fabric types by touch and explain which works best for specific weather conditions, knowledge that develops naturally through daily exposure and careful parental instruction. Children learn specific gaits designed for maximum stability on ice. These walking techniques become ingrained early, developing balance and coordination skills essential for navigating frozen environments safely. School continues until temperatures drop below minus 55 degrees Celsius. At minus 40, children simply wear extra layers and continue normal activities, viewing such conditions as merely typical winter weather. Their school cancellation policy makes snow days elsewhere look like closing school because of a light drizzle. Students learn mathematics through fuel consumption calculations and physics through material responses to extreme temperatures. By age 8, many can predict weather shifts 12 hours in advance by observing subtle environmental changes. Fire starting techniques get taught alongside reading. Children practice using tools while wearing mittens, developing dexterity, despite bulky hand protection that most people would find completely inhibiting. Snow fort construction teaches insulation principles while seeming like play. Traditional games develop stamina, coordination in bulky clothing, and team cooperation, all essential for survival in extreme conditions. Even 5-year-olds contribute to community work projects by carrying small items or delivering messages, developing responsibility from an exceptionally young age. By 12, most children can maintain vital home systems and handle emergency situations independently. While teens elsewhere worry about video game levels, Yakutian 12-year-olds are mastering survival skills that would challenge most trained adults. These educational approaches produce individuals uniquely prepared for extreme environments, carrying forward knowledge refined through countless generations of trial and error. Yet even the most skilled individuals would struggle to survive alone in this harsh landscape without the support systems that bind people together. In Yakutia, rugged individualism isn't just impractical, it's potentially fatal. The extreme conditions foster community cooperation systems that create social safety nets outlasting even the harshest winters. During brutal storms, families pool firewood, food supplies, and heating fuel without expecting immediate repayment. When the temperature drops below -50, the concept of my firewood transforms into our warmth, where sharing isn't charity but collective survival insurance. Communal water stations serve entire neighborhoods through cooperative maintenance. These heated buildings operate like infrastructure hubs, maintained by rotating volunteer schedules. Missing your turn to maintain the station isn't just inconsiderate, it potentially endangers everyone who depends on that water source. Public bathhouses become crucial community centers during the darkest months. These well-heated spaces provide relief from home confinement while enabling essential hygiene maintenance and creating opportunities for social connection during isolated winter periods. Wood delivery coordination creates interconnected support systems. Families arrange collective purchasing, share transportation costs, and assist with processing, ensuring nobody faces winter without adequate heating supplies. Communities develop alert systems where abnormal chimney smoke patterns trigger automatic welfare checks. Neighbors monitor each other's chimney smoke so carefully they can tell if you're cooking breakfast late or if your stove needs cleaning, a surveillance system powered by genuine concern. Winter festivals continue despite temperatures that would cancel public gatherings anywhere else. These events provide essential psychological support during extreme conditions while reinforcing social bonds that enhance collective survival. Skill sharing happens continuously through informal networks. Individuals with specialized knowledge teach others without expectation of payment, understanding that distributed expertise increases community resilience. Childcare extends naturally beyond immediate families. Neighbors routinely watch children during emergencies. Elders provide supervision during work activities, and older children help with younger ones across household boundaries. Transportation sharing becomes standard practice when maintenance costs exceed individual budgets. Families coordinate errand schedules and share vehicle use, creating efficient systems that maximize limited resources. These community systems directly correlate with survival rates during extreme conditions, teaching each generation that collective action provides the most reliable protection against an unforgiving environment. These practical cooperation networks are reinforced through cultural practices that transform survival necessities into meaningful traditions. Yakutian traditions aren't decorative cultural remnants. They're sophisticated knowledge transfer systems disguised as celebrations. Every festival, ritual, and cultural practice contains embedded survival lessons preserved through generations. The Yiyak Summer Festival embeds strategic survival training in celebration. Circle dances build stamina and teach cooperation patterns useful during winter emergencies. What looks like simple summer entertainment actually serves as a full-body training program where nobody realizes they're attending survival school. Horse races demonstrate crucial animal handling skills while testing equipment durability. Riders showcase control techniques essential for transportation and herding throughout the year, skills that directly translate to daily survival tasks. Traditional fermented milk ceremonies teach proper food preservation techniques. The preparation and consumption of kumis provides essential nutrition while teaching handling procedures that prevent spoilage in challenging conditions. This might be the only culture where children eagerly learn biochemistry without realizing they're getting a science lesson along with their traditional drink. Winter solstice gatherings combat seasonal depression through structured community interaction. Extended darkness requires intentional psychological support, a need met through ceremonial activities that involve multiple households. These celebrations provide critical mental health maintenance while reinforcing social bonds necessary for physical survival. Epic tales incorporate navigation techniques and warn about environmental dangers through engaging stories. These narratives preserve critical survival information in formats easily remembered and passed between generations. Traditional ceremonies demonstrate proper harvesting ethics, sustainable usage patterns, and waste reduction techniques. These practices ensure resources remain available for future generations. a practical approach to conservation developed through centuries of experience. Seasonal food celebrations mark optimal gathering, hunting, and preservation periods, creating a cultural calendar aligned with resource availability. These traditions tell communities exactly when to perform critical subsistence activities. Coming-of-age ceremonies test practical skills through cultural frameworks. Young adults demonstrate competency in essential survival tasks within ceremonial contexts that make these challenges meaningful. While teenagers elsewhere stress about social media popularity, Yakutian youth worry about demonstrating proper survival skills before the entire community. Traditional craft practices maintain essential technical knowledge. Activities like birch bark, container making, leather processing, or fur preparation preserve manufacturing techniques crucial for survival equipment in extreme conditions. What appears as simple traditions forms the thread connecting every aspect of Yakutian life. Specialized homes, layered clothing, adapted vehicles, naturally preserved food, cold-hardy animals, physiological adaptations, childhood training, and community networks. Together, these elements create a complete survival system that has allowed them to thrive in one of Earth's most unforgiving environments.